What's up, you little weirdos? Happy Pride Month, happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to talk about one of those two today, and it's not Men's Mental Health Month. We're going to talk about Pride Month. One thing in particular that I'm still kind of surprised that we are still learning today. I'm a little bit more lenient on the Zoomers because they're just getting used to this, but the millennials have no right to be this far behind. And the boomers too, for that fact as well. And that fact is simple. Big corporations don't give a fuck what you believe in. Okay? Now, this ain't gonna be some big screaming anti-capitalist type rant, but I don't know why we need to keep having this conversation. I'm just gonna be the fucking condescending bitch here today, I guess, and just say, why does this shock people? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's been a whole flood of this junk in the news media in the last couple of weeks, because obviously we are now in June. As of recording this, it is June 5th, and we have been 5 days into Pride Month. And there's a lot of people that are really shocked that the usual corporate brand accounts on Twitter and Instagram and wherever they have their social media presence, not all of them have changed to a rainbow flag. Now, this obviously means that they want to kill all the gays. In reality, what it means is that thanks to Donald Trump and thanks to the people that put him in power, it's not profitable to be loudly supportive of Pride Month. Now, we can talk about how depressing that is all we want, but the main focus of this video, which will hopefully be shorter than the fucking 7 hours that it felt like my other video was, is that again, I don't even know why this needs to be discussed, but like, if you don't understand that the American business model, and not just America, but America's the most common example of this because it's so prevalent, it's all for profit. My dudes, it's all for profits. That's not shocking. That's not revolutionary. It's not a deep thought. Everything is done for profits. If they think that dressing their character up as a unicorn with a dildo for a horn would make them money, they're going to do it. Okay? None of these companies have very strong convictions. They just don't. I'd love to hear some examples in the comments of companies that you think hold some kind of moral fiber, because I will tell you right now that I can't think of any. And I can't think of any at the top of my head that have firmly stood their ground on things they believed in, even in the face of financial backlash. As funny as it seems, or as funny as it sounds, I think the only one I can think of is the Costco hot dog. The $1.50 Costco hot dog meal that the dude who's running Costco, I think it's the guy who's actually running the whole company, I'm pretty sure has said or inferred multiple times that he would basically rather die, if he's not dead already, than change the price of that combo because it is so core to their identity. And they have willingly taken money, from other parts of... They've rearranged their profits and their finances in a way to allow them to continue to offer a massive hot dog and a drink for $1.50. And it remains the most affordable meal in America. Sad. But aside from really, really needing that $1.50 hot dog meal, I can't think of any other American company that really has stood their guns on anything. Some of the more noticeable people, or not people, because corporations are not people, that have pulled their Pride Month support or have in many large events include such giants as Pepsi and Nissan. And people are shocked somehow. And listen, I'm never going to sit up here and say that Pride Month is an evil or a bad thing, nor am I going to ever get up here and say that gay people or like homophobia should be allowed. But it's also about reading the room. Right now, there is a significant portion of people that would be very upset if they were inconvenienced by seeing the gay somewhere on their fucking social media timeline, their preferred piss water. If there is a trans person trying to sell me Bud Light, my pastor is going to hear about it. These kinds of people The ones that squawk at you and call you snowflake get really, really upset about the rainbow. Wait until these guys actually find out that rainbows are a real thing, and not just commie liberal propaganda. But all my bullshit aside, this doesn't go just for Pride Month. This goes all the time. Whenever you see a company positioning itself in some way or telling you that they support something or that there is something that they're doing out of the goodness of their cold but squishy little hearts, they're lying to you. They are always lying to you. I know that's cynical, and I know that might feel like a bummer to think about, but that is how American businesses operate. It is how they've run for a long time, and it's not going to change anytime soon, and it hasn't changed in a very long time. So anytime you see someone saying like Target's a great example. Target's one I could name off the top of my head because Target was really, really pandering to the far left, like progressive type of people with all of their support of the LGBTQ plus community in the last couple of years. But Target is really supportive of these kinds of initiatives and these people, which is great. They suffered a little bit of blowback because obviously there are people out there that, again, are afraid of the gay, and they were fine with that. Now they're getting more blowback because those same people they were catering to, they are now not catering to, and they're rolling back DEI policies, and they're rolling back some of their support. And yeah, none of this is shocking. It's not shocking at all. It's not surprising at all. This is how these companies work. Stop giving companies money based on your morals, man. Man, woman, they, them, whoever you are, do not give these people money just because you think they align with you politically. Here's a good idea. Put your money in places that you respect, okay? If you've had good experiences with a company, give them money. If you have had good customer service, if you know people that work for them and they're good people and they make good products, give them money. Never give any of these fucking corporations your money based on what they tell you they are going to do or the things that they value. We're a family here at Baby Slaughter Incorporated. Like, we're here at Big Fat Hamburger that's going to give you a heart attack by the time you're 20. We support inclusiveness. They don't. They do not. They do not care. They've never cared. They're never going to care. Rip that Band-Aid off now. Yes, wah, you're a cynic. Oh my God, it's so negative. It's so negative. Why ain't gotta be so negative? Because it's not negativity, bruh. It's not negativity, bro. This is just how it is. This is what these motherfuckers do. And you need to realize that your dollar plays big, okay? One of the things that I wish the left would, as someone who is a lost member of the left wing, someone who has kind of just meandered in the center in the last couple of years because I'm not stupid enough to fall all the way on the right, and I'm not nearly self-victimizing / insufferable enough to fall on the modern left. As someone who's just toiled in the middle, but is very socially left, but financially kind of right, I've had a really difficult time with how the left side of the political spectrum does not seem to understand how to protest, okay? Their form of protest is to burn things down, is to slash tires and destroy cars in dealerships. And the right's form of protest seems to work, and that's with their money. They don't give their money to these people. Case in point, Bud Light, as I mentioned earlier, made the egregious mistake of signing or using Dylan Mulvaney, who is a transgender person, as a spokesperson. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, from an economic perspective, I don't fucking get that at all. First of all, they have a very youthful appearance. I'm pretty sure they're not very old at all. I'm pretty sure Dylan is quite young compared to the average Bud Light drinker. So it was a really clear pandering play, where they were just trying to pull an audience that they don't have, but they were doing it in the most egregious and open, obvious way. So their core drinking audience, the fucking wife punchers, they're just like, if I drink this beer, I'm gay. I can't drink this beer anymore. Now, if you drank that beer before, you're already gay. But no. Dude, it's fucking Bud Light, all right? And these motherfuckers lost their mind because Bud Light, you know, who's probably done far worse in the sponsorship department. I mean, for fuck's sake, pretty sure they actually did have Kid Rock as a sponsor at one point and not just an outspoken crybaby who, you know, screamed on social media about how Bud Light is destroyed now, you know, but they clearly did not care about transgender people. They clearly did not give a fuck because they dropped that kid so quickly. And then I'm pretty sure they fired the VP that brought Dylan involved and everything. And basically threw her under the bus and just played a huge PR game. And then like the commercials afterwards were all these like, and I'm proud to be an American, where everybody's straight and oh my God, please don't stop buying our beer. You know, it's like, it's shameless. It is fucking shameless. They came right out and undid all of it, you know. But again, if I think I want the left to learn. Okay, if you don't, and sometimes they do, all right, but for the most part, the right really has this figured out because I think the boomers have that figured out because they're stubborn. They're not going to spend their money, you know. For example, Chick-fil-A, you know, is a real common target of people who are more left-wing because there's a distinct anti-rainbow flavor to Chick-fil-A's reputation in terms of how there's the money that they give. They're like, I think even their president, whoever he was, but someone like high up in Chick-fil-A, you know, they're obviously a Christian or a religious, you know, more of a religious type company. They don't open on Sundays because that's the Lord's Day, you know, so they clearly have a leadership that believes and has a religious core to them that is important enough to cut their profits, because if Chick-fil-A was open on Sundays, Chick-fil-A makes a great product and they already make a ton of money. Could you imagine what they would make if they had an extra day to be open? So, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen people say, you know, oh, Chick-fil-A, that's the homophobic chicken. And then in like the next month or so, you'll see them eating there. What are you doing there, dude? Like, you said you didn't want to support these people, and now you're there, you know? Whereas on the right side of things, I think more typically, you're going to see them stick to that. They are going to make themselves suffer / deal with something else than spend their money on. I think especially the younger left needs to learn that, all right? I say this as a disappointed father, I promise you, because I want you to be better, okay? I want a Democrat in office. I don't want a Republican in office. I would hope that this is the kind of thing that people understand, all right? That if you are going to protest, all right, one, if we've learned anything from this whole rambling ass video, don't listen to a corporation. They're going to lie to you. You're not going to get any real backing from them. And two, make the protest effective, all right? You are not going to get any sympathy from anybody by blocking roads, by setting cars on fire, by cutting tires, by just burning shit down, you know, robbing stores. That doesn't really do it. But as soon as you take your fucking money away from those people, those ears get real big all of a sudden, and they're real open to your suggestions, and they want to know what you want. So, again, stop idolizing celebrities. Stop idolizing big companies. They don't care what you think. You know who cares what you think? Me. I care what you think. A little bit. But what do you think? Put it in the comments. And I do genuinely hope you have a good day. And stop fucking simping for companies for the last time, please.